We're talking about my day of power. Thursday to each and every one of you guys. I'm rocking my favorite Ogun Fare, and Zarabanda. Thank you to each and every one of you guys that participate in these lives. If you this is your first time in my live, my name is Chief Apostle Samuel the Jr. I am the apostle and pastor of Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ Incorporated, and my beliefs are deeply rooted in the ATRs. The ATRs are the African traditional religion by which we harness, direct, and disperse energy, frequency, and vibration. To each and every one of you guys, thank you so much for joining our lives. And these lives are for melanated people, also for those Black American people that are practicing conjure, melanin magic, mysticism, any form of ATRs. What's up, Mother Susan, Gemini in the house? To each and every one of you guys, I want to say thank you so much for your continued support and your personal concern about me weathering this new COVID strand. I want to say to each and every one of you, I thank you so very much for your energy, your frequency, and your vibration that you share out of concern or a spoken word or a spoken prayer. What's up, my Ryan, my Cardinal Air in the house? Where's my Virgo, Savannah? To each and every one of you guys, we're gonna keep it rolling and having some real conversation. To all, welcome and salutations to my air signs, my water signs, my fire signs, and my earth sign. To each and every one of you guys, the main purpose of me being a part of this live, and thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you for showing those hearts. It's engaging. It's very important to show people that you're engaged. You're not just having the phone on or tapping in, but you are engaged in the conversation that is being had, especially when it comes down to so many Black American people that don't know their history, don't know their foundation, don't understand their ancestry. These things are very important, sir and ma'am. Now, I want to say, first of all, say teaching to my madrina, to my madrino, to my oba, and to all of my brothers and sisters in the E5 Voodoo, Santeria, Lukumi, Congo, and Palo, Mystic, and Andres. The message that I want to share, a profound, universal message that applies, and reason why we teach about universal laws, because they apply and applicable to each and every one of you. On my day of power of Thursday is Jupiter energy. And Jupiter deals with the higher mind, higher learning. There's a lot of people are more interested in information than they're interested in knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Because those things require application. Those things require you to sift through the wheat. Those things cause you to build thereupon. And I appreciate everybody that's viewing it, but if you don't mind, sir and ma'am, hit that like button. And my subject on today, what's up, my Demetrius Gemini in the house? My subject today is titles and labels bring energy, and don't deceive utilizing with your titles and labels. And this had a lot to do with the conversations I've had with my goddaughter, and just people in general. And I'm 52 years of age. I'm gonna say 59. And I'm about to be 53 in December the 15th. I've been doing magic since I was a child. I've been doing business since I was a child. And for the other, I have been pastoring to my own church since 2001. I've been pastoring as co-pastor of various of years beforehand, but I have always accompanied leadership position, even on my physical job. Why that's important? Because the perspective that I have on energy, frequency, and vibration. And the reason why I want to talk about this because I'm a very powerful man. I am very much initiated in various of traditions. And what's up, my Boaz, my Pisces in the house? When I say that titles and labels bring energy, and I tell people, and I've said this oftentimes, what's up, my jealous sweets in the house? I've said this oftentimes. And what spurred this on is because I'm a Sagittarius. People always say that Sagittarius people have high expectations. And that is somewhat true. But we only have those expectations of people that we have a responsibility to. Whether it's our mother, our father, or our family, there's a reason why we have expectations. Whether people meet them or not is another ball game. So, long story short, I have a goddaughter that titles me or labels me as a daddy. Not father, she don't call me father, she call me daddy. But she wants to benefit from that title only from me. And every time she's required to meet the expectation of daughter, she falls short. And she desires to have understanding of that. What's up, my tree runner, Aries in the house? Every label or every title that you engage in, it brings a certain energy. It brings a certain expectation. Depending on who that daddy is, who that father is, who that apostle is, who that chief is, who that tata is, who that mumbo is, who the mother of the church is, you create an energy by wearing certain titles. What people, especially Black American people, try to avoid is accountability. Everybody wants to be the RN until accountability is required. Everybody wants to be the doctor. Everybody wants to be the chief. They don't want to be associated with being called an Indian until much is given, but much is required. Thank you, Demetrius. I appreciate that. Me and Demetrius have a good relationship. And the reason why there is little to no disagreement between me and Demetrius is I have an expectation upon him as a client. From the time I met Demetrius, he has never called me father. He's called me chief because that's my title. But he's never developed a father-son relationship. So therefore, I would never have those type of expectation. I can express my love and honor for him, and he can express his love and honor for me. When he shows me gratitude or he sends donations because he's aware of what I'm going through, I am very, very appreciative for him and to him, because man to man, I appreciate another man thinking enough of me to do something for me. But when you have titles and you have labels, it brings energy, frequency, and vibration. And a lot of y'all, and melanated people in particular, you want the benefits of titles. This is why when I speak on these terms, This is why visibility numbers drop. I already know that most black people and black American people are about bullshit. I understand that it's very few women and very few men that actually want to learn, want to develop, actually want something out of life. When you are labeled a father or a mother, there is an expectation. I'm going to say this again. You being somebody's parent, whether that parent is godparent, whether that parent is pope, whether that parent is chief apostle. Not only do I have the energy of an apostle, but I'm also labeled and titled as a fivefold ministry, which is apostle, pastor, teacher, evangelist. Are you understanding me? No one told me to come out here on social media at no given date or time and to declare I'm extraterrestrial. By having that label or that title upon me, there is a higher level of expectation. When you are the foreman on the job, there's a higher level of energy and expectation. You want people to have understanding based off your failure to reach your energy of your said title and your said label. If you want to be the man of the house, there's an energy that comes with that. If you are a woman and you want to be head of household, there's an energy that comes with that. Even though Ahab was a king. I actually said that right, but you understand what I'm saying. We all knew that Jezebel ran the kingdom. She didn't have the title, she had the energy. Energy don't lie. If you don't want me to have certain expectations of you, don't call me daddy. Don't call me father. A lot of y'all go into situations coining labels on people, and then when they look and have a certain expectation, you think they're being unfair. When I label my tribe, it's a certain energy. When I label people my saints, it's a certain energy. When I label people my godchildren or goddaughter, those are all titles, have different energy. When you have the title of trainee, there's a certain level of expectation. Whether you do well or you do poorly. If I don't want people to be able to ask me certain questions regarding spirituality and conjure, then I don't need to be wearing these titles. I don't need to walk around with the title of healer, because people that are sick are going to seek my expertise. I don't put the title of fortune teller. I put the title of prophetic pro. I am a prophet and I'm prophetically inclined. I often say to people, as a reminder, you know I'm a seer, right? You understand that I'm a seer. I'm not basing anything that you're saying. Oh, I'm not going off of what you're saying. I'm looking at energy, frequency, and vibration. The reason why many of you are in situations and circumstances, because you're going in and you're utilizing your titles and your labels to deceive people. Because people are going to have certain expectations of you. This is why I don't go around saying he a man like I'm a man. Because I may be a man, but based off of his abilities, based off of his experience, based off of his education, economic, there's a lot of variation why me and him are not the same. You won't catch me saying certain things about other men or other people because there are very, very different variations that may put me under somebody or over somebody. You understand? A lot of you are going to have a lot of problems in your everyday life. Not just the ATRs, whether you're gay or whether you're straight, whether you're bisexual, whether you're married or not married. And it will be simply because of whatever title, whatever label that you have chosen for yourself. And then when that energy is required of you, you're going to have excuses. I would not have any expectation of certain people if they would not label me in certain fashions. It seems that happens a lot in spirituality. Somebody with a title that can't fulfill. But that's the reason why I said you're utilizing your titles and your labels to deceive people, because the average person that places on a title knows already whether he or she can function in that energy. You want to be called mom or mother only out of convenience, out of influence. But when you're required to be a mother, now you want to act like a sister. Now you want to act like a friend. You understand? If you don't want to be labeled as a mother, keep your pussy closed. Drink the semen or let him fuck you in your ass. You can have sex all day long and not get pregnant. When he get ready to bust, you swallow or you let him skeet on you. All day long. If you want to have intercourse, let him fuck you in the ass. There's no babies coming out of that. It's not complicated. He doesn't have to stop having sex with you and to keep you from being a mother. Swallow. Or turn over and use that other sphincter to let your man rock out. It's not complicated. Because you understand that your vaginal orgasm or organ can actually give life. I'm here for grown people. I'm not here to talk about their bullshit. If you want to grow, if you want to understand what life is all about, then you understand why David decided to take off the armor of King Saul, because it was not created for him. If you are a grown man or woman, you're not going to let people put titles on you that you know you're not fit to wear. What's up, my God? Is my Pisces in the house? I wear titles that I can defend. I'm going to say this again. I wear titles that I can defend. People don't have to like me for me to defend my titles. But when you got titles that you're wearing that you cannot defend, then you need alliances. Let me break that thing down again. You need collaboration of other people to affirm and validate your title, or your label. I tell people all where I go, I'm androgynous. I'll fuck your mama and your daddy, your granddaddy, your grandfather, and your especially they got a check. None of them are safe with me. And I'm a beast, so I'll fuck your dog and your cat. I think I cleared everything. But I also tell people I'm a grown man and I take care of myself. I'm not gonna force anybody to do anything they don't want to do. Your grandma wanted me to knock her in out of place because she asked me to. Because that you are appalled at what your granny willing to do with me ain't my problem. When I come into a situation or circumstance and I know my label is side piece, I don't act like I'm the main entree. What's up, my Natasha Foster, my Aquarius from North Carolina? I'm going to say it again. What's up, my baby Scorpio? If you don't want a certain energy over your life, don't allow people, places, and things to put those titles and those labels on you, because those labels and titles carry energy. And don't just put a title on your name or a label on you that is intended to deceive people, because people are going to be drawn to the energy of that particular title. This is why you see so many tatas, mambos, hoogans, because black people are more interested in the title than the operation and the function of that said title. This is why whether I'm in health or not in health, I can still operate as Chief Apostle Ely. Whether I got money or no money, I can still operate as the apostle, the apostle, and the apostle. This is why I can be challenged based on my title. And I always execute effectively because I didn't put a title on that I could not carry. If you don't want me to call you daughter, then don't call me dad. If you don't want me to look at you as a tribal member, then don't call me chief. It's quite simple. There's expectations based off of how you label somebody. This is why when women are being labeled as girlfriends and they operate as wife, they get fucked over. Not because of the man, because of their energy. You coming into the relationship with the wife's energy, and your label and your title is girlfriend. Some of y'all don't even have the title of girlfriend, and you still giving wife energy, and you just a fuck piece and a fuck toy. You think people are jealous and envious of you, and you don't understand your title. You're giving the voice of a supervisor, a executor, but your paycheck says that you're entry level. I'm just talking about energy, frequency, and vibration. This is my day of power. I'm rocking my Fedivun Ogun. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm not here to change your situation. I don't give a fuck what you do. I'm a Sagittarius, Moon and Aries, and Rise sign Pisces. You know I don't give a fuck. But other people act like in this world that somebody doing you wrong. Somebody mistreating you. Somebody has a false expectation of you based on your title. When Goddess comes in, or we see each other to chime in via social media, she called me Chief. Or she would call it, hey, Apostle. That's our energy. I'm going to say Pisces goddess. That's her energy. That's how I'm going to treat her. That's how I'm going to handle her. If she changed her title and she goes by the word empress, I'm going to treat her based off her title. If you don't want somebody addressing you a certain way, then start operating in that fashion. You don't have a one time to say, you ain't my daddy. My energy gonna change ASAP. Since I'm not your daddy, put down my cornflakes. See, I was buying clothes for you like you were my child. Now that I understand that ain't the title that I need to wear, I'm your mama fuckboy. I have no problem of bringing that energy in this relationship. Don't have an expectation of me. I'm not coming to your graduation because I'm here to fuck your mama. Because you told me I'm not your daddy. And I'm not going to give you daddy energy. So therefore, we ain't going to have no problem. I ain't going to have no expectation of you getting my slippers as your father or your daddy. And you ain't going to have no, you ain't going to have an expectation, I ain't going to have an expectation of you ain't got no expectation of me operating as father. Y'all understand? It's not complicated. If you ain't God father, then how a God son or daughter have expectation of the energy? Make it make sense. You're deceiving people because you know you can't read. You can't see, and you are not good at divination. But you say you're a tarot reader. And you want everybody to understand why you keep hitting and missing. I don't go by the title of fortune teller. I don't predict people's future. I do destiny readings and I do shadow readings. I have vision and spirit speaks to me. I always operate in my confinement no matter what I practice. That's why my readings are so accurate. Whether you get a consultation, whether you get a progressive reading, or whether you get a $20 reading while I'm online. I'm a seer. And I choose based off what you donated, how much information you're going to get. I don't give a fuck if I can see 5 generations down. You gave me $20. That's all you getting. You gave me $150. That's all you getting. I don't give a fuck who you are. I had a conversation with somebody today. I said I'm so upset because I gave you all this insight and I don't have a Zelle. I don't have a PayPal. This is some fuck shit. Because you want people to give you their values while you walk around and act as though you are entitled to some of the energy of their titles or their labels. If you want me to treat you like you're a biological child of mine, I'm going to whoop your motherfucking ass. If you don't want me to put my hands on you, then stop calling me father. If you don't want me to chastise you as a elder, then leave my fucking church. Because whom God loves, he or she chasten. And if I'm going to be responsible for preparing a table and spreading a feast for you and making sure you get fresh manna, then if you fucking up my spread, I'm going to correct you. If you don't want me to chastise you as the head of this table, then get your knees from up under my fucking table. It's so easy. And I'm talking about me, but it go for anybody. What's up, my Shamari in the house? Cancer, Sasha Fierce. A lot of y'all make some things so complicated. You want to give bad bitch energy. And the only thing you bad at is the way you dress, the way you look, the way you put on makeup, and how you look in your outfits. You don't even understand what that label means. When you say queen, you don't understand the energy that is required to have that title and that label. How I'm gonna be king? I don't own shit. I don't rule shit. All I do is talk shit. This don't make me a king. You can't label yourself, and then when people require or have a certain expectation, when Queen of Sheba came into the kingdom of Solomon, she had an expectation. If you don't want people to have expectation, then you don't go out there bragging about how wise you are. If you don't want your intellect challenged, then don't talk about how smart you are. It's very simple. Say, don't talk to me, I'm a dumb bitch. All I do is talk shit. If you want to talk shit, then we can talk. But if you looking for some smart, some intellect, some skill, some craftiness, I'm the wrong bitch to be talking to. If you want somebody to be able to bust a nut in, I'm the bitch. If you're trying to build a life and trying to build a partnership, I'm not that bitch. I'm just here to suck some dick and give me some money. It's best to label me as a prostitute. Not a wife, not a girlfriend, not a side piece. I'm just a bitch selling pussy. And I ain't really that great at doing that. Then the expectations ain't there. People ain't mad. Have you ever, because I don't say it, and grabbed salt, or sugar or salt, thinking it's one or the other, and you like, God damn it, because you thought it was sugar or you thought it was salt. And the expectation that you had was because you thought it was what? It was salt. So you looking for salty. You thought the expectation was sugar, so you were looking for sweet. But when you realize in real time, you know that done fucked up. Because now you done pour salt into your cereal. If I don't want people to look for me to break yokes, then I should take off my bio that I destroy curses. People don't have expectations of me because they just came out of the blue. I got certain things labeled on my website and labeled in my bio. Ryan has an expectation no matter what the fuck he do. He should be able to come to this platform and get knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Because I say I'm chief. I say I'm extraterrestrial. Demetrius come here because he has an expectation of this man supposed to be knowledgeable about the ATRs. Simple as that. They all got it right. I told Bo I accept him for who he is. He has an expectation that his sexual orientation is not even calculated in how I'm going to treat or handle him. He has a right to have that expectation. At no time should what he like to do in his private life have anything to do how I handle or treat him, because he got that expectation from me. Is anybody hearing me? It's quite disingenuous to deceive somebody based off your title and your label, because they have a right to expect certain things, and now you're nothing like. This is why we talk about the concept of wolves in sheep clothing. I have a right to expect that you're here to eat my ass up if you come here in wolf clothing. But it's deceitful for me to label myself as a sheep. No, I'm here to eat the sheep. If I don't have an Ogun pot, if I don't have a Zarabanda pot, I shouldn't be out here representing that. Even though I'm crowned my Fede Boom Oya on her day of power with me, I still have the cauldron of Ogun. I still have Zarabanda. So I can represent, even though I'm initiated and scratched in Centella. I just want to talk to y'all. Mother Susan, I'm going to use that as an example, has a right to have an expectation, or anybody on my platform, because y'all know I say that, I'm a six-figure man. She's not going to have a $60,000 year expectation. She's not going to have a $75,000 a year expectation. She's going to have a six-figure, because that's the expectation I gave her. Because I fall off, don't change her expectation. I'm going to say that again. If you don't want men and women, whether natural or not, or spiritual, to have certain expectation, then don't come in as a baller. That's what our problem with Darius was. And when you falling short of that expectation or that energy, now you want to make like somebody got a false expectation of you. When I don't want somebody to look at me a certain that way, I don't get the expectation. That's why some of the hoes I deal with don't know I'm a chief, don't know I'm an apostle, don't know I come from the family I got. I don't want that expectation on me. I'm just another nigga you know that know how to lay dick. That's the only expectation I want you to have of me. Therefore, I don't even bring that around. I don't want the expectation. When you met me, bitch, you met me in the park and we was fucking. That's the height of your expectation. That nigga know he can fuck in the woods. I don't know who that nigga is. I don't even know if that's his real name. But he's definitely a pipe layer. And he fucked the hell out of me around that tree. That oak tree, we have a memorial. If you don't want the expectation, sir, man, don't put it out there. Don't dress to impress. I'm a basic bitch. I'm a basic spiritualist. I'm a basic card reader. Don't have supernatural extraterrestrial expectation over here. I'm always running the clearance. I'm always cutting the cards. I'm always running the deal. You can't blame people for having certain type of expectation if you're presenting that. And it's very deceitful to label yourself as a godson, a goddaughter, a member, a tribal member, and then when it comes down to being required to stand up as a daughter or a tribal member or any of those things, now you got a problem. You don't have a problem eating from the table of the tribe. You have a problem supporting the tribe. You're a deceitful ass bitch. I don't care who you is. And don't get offended, because the truth is the truth. You don't want to be labeled as a freeloader, but bitch, you don't never pay when you eat. What is you is but a freeloader. You don't want to be labeled as a lie, and all you do, bitch, is lie. You a bitch ass nigga. That's all you do is lie. But you don't want to be labeled or titled as a liar. Then stop lying. I don't see the complication. I don't see the stress. When I tell somebody I'm 52 years old, I ain't gonna let them have a expectation that I'm gonna fuck like a 21-year-old. Cause when I was young, when I got cramps, I kept fucking. Now, when I catch cramps, I'm gonna stop, I'm gonna drink me some water, I'm gonna breathe, and I'm gonna get my shit back together. And if you wanna keep on fucking, if I can, we're gonna keep on fucking. But I'm not gonna hurt me at 52. I'm over 53 years old. What the fuck I gotta prove? You control the expectation people have of you. Not the expectation they create for themselves for you. I told Mother Sue, we had a conversation. I said, I don't give a damn what they think about me. I never told them. They don't have a reason to have that expectation because I never said that. I never told you that my $100,000 a year go to you. When did I ever say that? When I ever told you my good dick belong to you? My spirituality, my cauldron, my orishas, my lord. When did I ever tell you that because you hanging around me, I supposed to bless your life just because you around me? Ask yourself, I may have expectations, but who created them expectations? When a man creates an expectation for a woman that he wants to be married, then he can get upset that why she interviewing. You done heard all over the internet. I done been married twice. And depending on whether I like you or not, I'll let you know whether I'm the plaintiff or defendant. But I don't tell you, I ain't trying to get married no more. So what the fuck you interviewing for? You have an expectation of me you shouldn't have. And if you want to really fuck around with me, you should never became a client or a member of my church. You should have called me when I was on the back alley doing my shit. If you try to get it with me in a sexual manner, then you don't come through the church to get to me. Because now I got a different expectation. Y'all see how simple that is? When me and you meet on a sex site, when I show you my dick, I'm not being disrespectful. I'm being disrespectful if you in a library. I'm being disrespectful. If we at the grocery store and I'm trying to show you my salami, I'm being disrespectful because that is not the scene. You have no reason to expect somebody to come on you in a sexual nature. But if we at a pool party skinny dipping and you just keep throwing up on my lizard, why I wouldn't expect us to fuck? Now I want to slap the fire piss at you because now you playing with me. You're deceiving me and I can't stand that shit. Hallelujah. Got to make it church. This is a spiritual platform. Sir and ma'am, people don't have expectations out of the blue. There are some crazy bitches out here, male and female. They done dream up shit in their head. It's fine. It's some crazy bitches, male and female. But the average person are gonna have expectation based off your titles and your labels. A spiritual slap at that. Knuckle City. Let me tell y'all something. You're such a liar when you act like a man or woman is unrealistic in their expectation of you when you're wearing certain labels and titles. I'm not expecting Shamari to look. Yes, I'm under the weather. I'm doing quite well, but Shamari don't call me daddy. She don't call me sugar daddy. She don't call me. She's a chief. I would not have that expectation. If she does something for me, I thank God for it, but I don't have that expectation. Natasha ain't never offered me no pussy. Natasha ain't never got out of the way. All I say is Natasha Foster from North Carolina, my aphrodisiac. She not looking for me to show up at her door post with a trench coat on with my dick hard. There's no expectation. We doing salutation to one another. How her complimenting me as a man, a black American man, me, I got rights to her pussy. Now I got my tongue up trying to lick her nipple. Oh goddamn pervert. You are sitting here in a live with a spiritual man. You're looking for spirituality. You're looking for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You know why these women of different calibers don't disrespect me? Because I don't disrespect them. I operate in whatever title and operation we have. If I ain't disrespecting Natasha, she is not expecting me to disrespect her daughter. Compliment her daughter, but disrespect and dishonor her. Are y'all really hearing me? If you don't have certain titles, people don't have certain expectations. The average sober-minded person, now is Apostle either comical? Do he talk about real life issues and circumstances? Yeah, he'll talk about it all. But disrespect you as a woman or a man, I'm not gonna do that. Not today, not tomorrow, whether I become millionaire status. I'm never gonna do that. If I help Demetrius get to uncharted region, I'm never gonna dishonor him, disrespect him, and be mad with him because he didn't call me father. We never had that relationship. A lot of y'all men, the problem is you are accustomed to women giving women and men labels to deceive them. You know you ain't gonna ever marry that bitch. Why you calling her your wife? Because if you want her to be your wife, you'll marry that bitch. That end of story. If you want her to be a part of your team, you will make her a part of your team. You will legalize her operation. It's just that simple. I ain't no sense. Like this, I'm 50. I'm saying this again. I'm 52 years old. I'm retired. I was talking shit before I was retired. I got time. I got time to show you how stupid you really are. To have certain expectation of me, knowing you can't reciprocate those expectations. And when I require that reciprocation, now you got problems. Now, bitch, you're gonna have charges. That's what you're gonna have. You're gonna have some stab wounds, you're gonna have some cuts, you're gonna have some fire burns. Is anybody hearing me? If you don't want to be deceived, don't be a deceiver. If you don't want to be a deceiver, then don't mislabel yourself. I can easily say, just because I said I'm a whore, don't mean I want to whore with you. Both of those statements are true. If I wanted Mother Susan to bathe me, I would play sick. Because I'm a perverted like a motherfucker. Just because she offered me, I'm not going to utilize my situation and my sickness to let this elderly woman wipe my salami, grease my Haagen-Dazs, choke my chicken. Well, Mother Susan, can you wash it over there? Over there? No, a little lower. A little lower. That's the spot. If you don't want to be handled a certain type of way, don't let somebody label you. And if you got a label, operate in that energy, frequency, and vibration. That's all. Stop changing on people if you don't mean what you say. And my baby Scorpio in here, when I'm talking to her, I'm talking to her like if she were my daughter. I give her advice for her and her child, like I'm her dad. If I was talking to my sister, if I was talking to my niece or my female cousin, I give her the same advice. And she looks at me because of my titles or because of my labels. She done send me one picture of her, and now I ask her, you got a XX picture? Keith, you look really, really good in that picture. I was bragging on Natasha and her daughter, and I was telling Mother Susan about her, how pretty they were. And I said, Mother Susan, let me send you a picture of Natasha, right? And I showed, I said, you see how much her daughter looked like her. And she, oh my God, she is so pretty. I ain't never got out of the way. I can compliment somebody without violating them as a person and as a woman. Some of y'all sick as fuck. What did I say something? If Pisces goddess come into my life, she has a right to expect me to teach her about being a god or a goddess, because that's what I represent. Am I? I'm not saying. And then I have some silly bitches around. Well, why he don't say that about me? Cause I don't see you like that. It's very simple. If I think a man sexy or he got a nice physique, I'll say that. If you buff, you just buff. You look better in a muscle shirt than I do. I don't have a problem saying that. Cause you know you got men out there that got a ass on them like a woman. Don't get mad at me. Start wearing them tight jeans. Sir, it's very deceiving. Cause you a lot that got some of this rod. Your ass sitting on you like that. Pull your shirt in and let me know that you are not offering. This is not Sunday service. There is no offer. Now you got your pants pulled down and your ass crack is showing. That looks like an invitation to me. It looks like an invitation to me. Ray Charles said it's an invite. Steve Wonder said it's an invite. When I don't want misunderstanding, I don't represent myself in a certain type of way. You already hear me say I like tossing salad. It look like you done put that dish on the counter and you ready for some flipping. And I love lettuce. God knows I love lettuce. Just tossing in the air. And them pancakes looking like I like them looking. I was talking to Sister Tree today, and she said, Daddy, I almost fell and bust my behind. I said, Tree, did you bust your hips? Because you ain't got no booty. She said, I'm not going to start with you. No, I'm serious. I'm like, did you almost fall on your thighs? Because you don't have no ass. You have a anus, and you got some knots here, and then you got some hips. I know what the ass look like on a man and a woman. I'm not confused. You can call those things that be not as though they were all you want. I don't have a problem with that. But I'm telling you, what I'm looking at, what I have examined, and through my whole technology, that's none of the eyes. There's some hips. There's some thighs. And there's a hole called the anus. I give you credit for all of that. But that's not ass. You understand, y'all? Y'all can have a better relationship with me if y'all start out here mislabeling and stuff. That's why you should do what I do. When somebody want to be intimate with me, I let them know I'm all meat and little potatoes. If you looking for big nuts, I don't have them. Do I have some firepower in these nuts? Yes, I do. But I'm all meat and little potatoes. I used to call myself squirrel nuts. It don't bother me. Because they don't ask me for my nuts, the fuck. They ask me for my wood. And I ain't gonna let you hurt my squirrel nuts. I'm not gonna let you hurt me. And don't suck on my nuts like that. Huh? Because this is almond. Almonds got nuts. Mounds don't. These I don't care how small they are. You can hurt these. Be gentle. You can be freaky and not hurt me. I don't know what y'all be having expectations and you won't be honest. And I was talking to a young lady today, and she was talking about going. If we going to have a professional dinner, yeah, you can take me out to dinner. But if you trying to be romantic with me, you can take me to a fucking restaurant. I'm a man. You ain't gonna take me to, no. I'm gonna find out what you like and where you wanna go. And I'm gonna take you. I'm gonna set the mode and the trend. You ain't gonna take me no goddamn well. And I'll sell some inches in a minute. But I set the tone. You ain't gonna treat me like no bitch. Every prostitute don't have to be treated like a bitch. And you can still be cordial and professional. That's all I'm saying. Labels matter, sir and ma'am. If you don't want expectation on you, then stop operating with the label. You know I'm a man of a certain caliber. Then why would you have a problem with me and my standards? Leave me the fuck alone. If you got a problem with my donation pricing, leave me the fuck alone. I ain't gonna change nothing. You act like because you think a Mercedes is so expensive car that they gonna bring their prices down because your bitch out can't afford it? Get your ass over there and get your Hyundai. Get you a Century. Why you over here frustrating me? Bitch, you know you ain't got no credit. Anything I share with y'all on my platform, it is for those that want to do it. If you can't afford something, we shouldn't fall out. Don't fall out with nobody over a title that they operate in. If you don't like that I'm a fire sign, don't bother me. If you don't like that my moon is in Aries, don't bother me. If you don't like the fact that my rising sign Pisces, don't bother me. We don't have no problem. I won't have no expectation of you. You won't have no expectation of me. I told my wife one day, and she was like, give me some money. I said, huh? She said, I give you sex, and you should give me some money. I said, girl, let me explain something to you. You don't ever want to say that to a man. That's called prostitution. You're my wife. I'm not going to provide for you. But the moment you start talking to me in the terms of a prostitute, I'm going to fuck you, give you your money, and get the fuck out of my house. If you don't want to be handled like that and you want to be handled like a wife, then don't talk to me like a prostitute. Listen to that bullshit your mama talking about, you're going to get you fucked over with a nigga like me. Because I can be a husband or I can be a pimp. What you want? Do you want a husband? Head of household? A provider? A protector? Or you want Mr. Dang-a-lang? Dang-a-lang-lang-lang. I'll give you some chop suey in this bitch. But based off how you talking to me, you're going to get another energy. And you might enjoy the sex, but how I treat you after, you might not like that. Because you can go back to wife. When I fuck you a certain type of way, I can't see you as a wife. You don't want that energy from me. Unless that's how we roll. If you want to be a wife, and you want me to fuck you like you're a wife, no problem. No problem, let's say. But you come in here with that prostitution shit, I'm going to turn my head around. Let's get the fucking. You going to get a whole nother type of nigga out of me. You call me daddy. You can call me God. Oh my God, my Jesus, all that. But when we get through fucking, I'm going to give you your money and get the fuck out of my house. So simple. If you don't want to be labeled a certain type of way, don't come in here talking crazy. Not to me. You might can do that in Leroy. You might do that with Jethro. But Apostle Ely? Oh my Lord. I'm too hoarse to talk crazy too. I remember my mama telling her, she said, oh, you gonna treat me like a hoe? She said, I don't have no problem. You gonna pay me like one though. It's up to you, buddy. Because if you talk to me like I'm a whore, you gonna pay me like one. And you gonna pay me good. It's up to you. If you allow people to label you and say certain things to you, and you'll go for it, that's your business, sir. That's your good business, man. But I was taught by a Virgo. Huh? That money you give me right there, that's not wife money, and that's not hoe money. That's trick money. And I'm not a trick. I know Halloween coming up, but I'm not a trick. That what you put on the table? You can't boss nobody. Not today or this weekend. What you giving It's an energy exchange. We just fucking each other. Cause that what you put on the table. That don't scream boss. Some of y'all they giving pussy for $40 and you let him slapping your ass. If I was a woman, I say, hey, you ain't pay for the slapping no ass. Nah, get you a couple jugs in and go about your goddamn business. But the way you carrying on, you act like you put $250 on that counter. You ain't slapping both of these cheeks. Not for $40. You gonna get you a couple good stabs and you gonna come on out this pussy. That's just me. I'm just, I'm not a woman, but I'm saying if I was, y'all wouldn't like me. You will love me, but you won't like me. I be saying, bitch, come around when your income tax, cause your paychecks, I ain't gonna let you get you my pussy about 15 minutes. Cause that what you put on the counter. That ride you gonna get one pump and maybe 4.5 licks. Cause now I gotta wash up in my opinion for nothing. If you wanna pull an all-nighter and you wanna leave your shoes up under my bed, show me your money. Show me your dick and show me your money. And depending on how good a fuck you is, I might give you some money back. That's me pretending to be a woman. That's how I do. Let me tell you what my mama said. My mama Virgo. There's a man going around breaking in and raping women. I wasn't even expecting her response. I thought she was doing her regular telling me about what was going on. So she said, this man going around, because that's how she came in the conversation. This man going around breaking in people's house and he raping them. Then she changed. She did a Voltron on me. She did a transform on me. So she said, I tell you what, if he break in and he any good, he can come back. But if he ain't no good, he going to jail. I said, Mama. She said, he going to jail. He need to be locked up. I hear selling. I'm just saying, I was raised different. And a lot of times people think I'm being vulgar and grotesque, but that's how I really raised it. Not just my mama talk like that. My grandma talk like that. My aunties, they talk. One guy, we was at the convenience store, my grandma convenience store, and he was telling my grandma, he said, I really like you. And he kept saying that. You know what my grandma said to him? Motherfucker, you can't even pay my light bill. She said, I got 2 units on my house. You can't even afford my light bill. Now stop telling me how much you like me. See, man, my family, the women in my family, you can't talk, you can't shoot that kind of shit to them. My sister ain't gonna let you sniff, she ain't gonna let you lick and sick, and she gonna get your money on a promise, on an opportunity. I don't know what my sister doing. I just know how she do business. If you mess with my sister, oh, you kicking out. That heifer is made by my mother. She's stingy. Stingy. Your money is her money. I know how my sister raised. I know who raised her. She a Gemini, but she raised her by a Virgo. And her grandma is a Sag. I know your paycheck. I know your wallet is like anorexic. Because my sister ain't going to give you the time of day. She don't care how good you look, how fine you are. She don't care nothing about none of that. You trying to impress her with your education, it means nothing. And my sister got 3 kids. I don't ever have to be embarrassed about my sister. A nigga can't walk up to me and tell me I got that for $40. My mama taught my sister and me. She said if a nigga got to pay for it and you put the price on his ass, he ain't gonna tell his boys. The reason why your name keep floating all around the city and the community, cause you selling pussy for $40, sometimes $20. And on a good day, if it's raining, he can do $15. But when a woman selling pussy for a certain amount of money, including a man, when you selling ass for a certain type of money, even in your head game, they ain't gonna tell, cause they don't want nobody to know they paid you $375 to choke on their chicken. They paid you $1,500 and plus fly you out to get a fuck session. They ain't gonna tell nobody. Your pussy too cheap. That's why they talking. When a man got to pay for his fucking, depending on what he paying for, it's how far his mouth go. You can accept what I say or think I'm talking too vulgar or whatever. But sir and ma'am, this is facts. Some of y'all should walk around with a sign called discount pussy. Not throwback pussy. Discount pussy. Clearance sale. Some of y'all niggas are paymasters. You should walk around with a sign say ATM. ATM. That's what your name should be called, nigga. Not what your mama call you. What you really is. Your energy. You as an ATM. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Mama told me 2 types of men. I said, huh? She said, son, it's only 2 types of men. Some can play and some got to pay. Some are paymasters and some are can play for free. I lifted my hands out. Mama, I want to be able to play. There's a requirement. There's a requirement. Gay, straight, or bi. If you want to be a player, there's a requirement. You got to meet certain thresholds with men and women. When they look at you and they like what they see, they start making concessions. When you drop them draws and they see that Tyler Wacker, a woman making the decision, or a man, whether you can play him anytime you want. Let me give you the code to the ATM. But some of y'all don't even try. Male or female, gay, straight, or bi. Nigga, put that money on the dresser. And she gonna fuck with you with an attitude. Cause you not that nigga. Sir, you're not that nigga. I'm just being honest with you. Married or not married. Married women, married men and women, the same thing across the board. Huh? When you look a certain type of way or a woman feels certain thing about you, she'll let you fuck her a certain type of way. When you ain't that nigga, she be, what you doing? Don't be putting in my head like that. She feel disrespected because you a paymaster. When you that playboy, the things she'll let you do. But you ain't that nigga, sir, gay, straight, or bi. No, what you doing? Why you trying to fuck me like that? No, you need to go. You done lost your mind. He or she be gathering your shit up. You gotta go. You done lost your mind. You come here fucking me like you own me. But that other nigga, he said, baby, let me get it at the window. She said, all right. And every man know what type of man he is. You will never have the fun that I have. I have people doing all kind of stuff that they want to do for other men. That's why I can explain it to you. Because my Virgo told me as a child, what type of man you desire to be. My mom be talking about the men in her family. Now, he can play. That other is a paid master. I told you about that conversation. My uncle, no, they weren't even talking to me. They were talking in front of me. And my other uncle was, in my opinion, a playboy. And I knew my other uncle always bought tail. And they were having a man-to-man conversation. I just was standing there. I was an observer. And then I heard some wisdom that I didn't even think I was going to hear. My other uncle dropped some shit on me, on my chest. Boom! When they talking with your chest. So I'm listening to the conversation. And he said, and the other brother was telling the other brother, all you do is buy tail. And he just going off on him and just doing his thing. That other uncle, brother looked at the other brother, both of them are my uncles. He said, the difference between me and you, and he was smoking a blunt, because they don't smoke joints, they smoke blunts. The other uncle didn't smoke. The other uncle smoked from time he got up in the morning to the time he went to bed. We were going to school. He'd be choking that way. I said, Uncle, you all right? He said, you ain't going to take your ass to school. Anyway, so they were having a conversation. So he said, we all pay. He said, you pay retail and I pay wholesale. I got quiet for real. So I'm listening. What kind of psychological bullshit is this? He said, you buy furniture, you pay rent. He said, I just walk up to a woman and ask her how much she want for it. That's wholesale. I looked at him. I looked at the other one. I said, Uncle, you might be my favorite, but I like his math. I like his math. So if I got to buy some pussy or some ass, it's going to be wholesale. I ain't going to pay retail. If I can't get it for free, I promise y'all I get it for wholesale. I hope you learned something today from the chief, Apostle Ely. Yes, I might have COVID, but I ain't crazy. Being sick don't mean crazy. I'm far from stupid. Stop riding here mislabeling people. Stop riding here putting labels on yourself that you can't match. I want you to go somewhere where there's a retail place and they got a sale going on and ask them to buy, can you buy the sign so you can put a discount or clearance sign on your pussy or your ass. And then you won't have the wrong energy coming at you. You won't have people trying you. They know what to expect. Everybody fuck with me know I cost. I don't have to haggle prices. I don't have to do nothing, whether spiritual or natural. Everybody know it costs to deal with Apostle Ely. Everybody know that. And if you don't know that, it ain't gonna take you long to know that. If you gonna fuck with me, you're gonna spend some money. If you want to talk to me, you're gonna spend some money. But the energy is the same all the way around. I'm just trying to help you. You'll stop feeling like somebody. You know we at McDonald's. You know the menu is the same on the left as the right, and then they have the value meal. Don't play crazy. You don't even have Olive Garden pussy. You have Rice Hut pussy. You have hot grease, old grease, fried French fry, and wings pussy. And you'll stop disrespecting other women because they got gourmet and filet mignon pussy or ass. You'll start getting upset. If you don't take your Walmart Woolworth ass pussy and go down the road, sir, and stop trying to bring down the property value of my life, and look how much better life would be. Let me stop. It's I got my jade and a white candle by my what kind of jade, not plastic, jade. I wish a bitch would come in here and say, "Can I have that?" I even wipe my ass with the best. You won't kick this ass. It costs too much. You ain't got enough derecho to be talking about kicking my ass. These patches that I got, I don't have a big ass. I have a nice ass. I don't have a big ass. My ex-wife used to call me and my children high rump. I'm a very shapely man. These right here are very expensive. X39 and X49. I got these patches on both cheeks and other places too. You might not invest that kind of money in your cheeks. That's your business. My healing is even expensive. I'm utilizing jade and eucalyptus and a white candle for my healing and my incense and these patches for my ass. I even anoint my ass with black tea oil. This is $80 a bottle. You may not ever put that kind of oil on your ass. And that's whether you gay straight or bi. But I do. I put all of oregano on my ass. I use all of my essential oils on my ass. And I'm a man. And I'm gonna let you kick in my ass with them $40 shoes. I'll fight you for dear life. I will fight you for dear life. I'm just being honest, y'all. You gonna take them old Dollar General ass, pay less ass shoes and kick me, bitch? I don't give you a man or woman. I will fuck you up on GP. You know how much money I just got to wiping on my ass, and you gonna try to kick me with them cheap ass shoes, them wobbly ass shoes? Sir, ma'am, you can't even kiss my ass. I don't invite people to kiss my ass. I said because your chapstick on your lips don't cost the money that what I kind of oil I put on my ass. I don't invite people to kiss my ass. Your lips too cheap. Oh, cheap ass lips. I'm just saying, that's my mentality. That's how I think. Ain't nothing personal against nobody else. All right? I love y'all. I see y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow will be Friday. Much love to each and every one of you. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you got a lot of what I said. And yes, we got a lot of laughs, but it still don't change the fact. It's still true. It's still true. All right? Peace out.